everybody! I'm here to talk to you about my top 3 favorite scenes from the books. Boy, was this really hard. It was awfully difficult for me to pick just 3 scenes that I wanted to talk about. The first one I thought of is in book 1. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't read the books yet. I'm about to tell you things that happen in 1 and 5 and 6. I really had fun writing the scene where Clay meets his mother for the first time. The reason I was interested in writing this scene is because the whole book is about expectations and what he thinks he's gonna find when he gets there, this dragon he thinks has been missing him his whole life. And then it turns out she's just not interested at all. She actually sold him in exchange for a couple of cows. I loved writing it because it's sort of funny, I hope, on the surface, but there's also all these big, deep emotions going on underneath. And as he's leaving, she's like, "And tell them they can't have their cows back, we already ate them." So I found that really fun to write and also kind of like emotional at the same time, I hope. The next one is from book 5. I love the scene where Sunny gets to the scorpion den for the first time because it was really fun to describe this sort of dragon city, what it feels like, what it smells like, what it sounds like, and there's like assassins tossing their cards at her and being like, "Hey, do you need an assassin?" And the dragon she's with is like, "Oh, you don't want him, he's too expensive." You realize, oh, that's the kind of world that they live in here. And then getting to meet Thorn and later Smolder and Flower. So getting to describe all 3 of those was really fun. And the last one is from book 6. And in book 6, I knew that I wanted Moon to meet Winter and Keebly in an interesting way. And I wanted it to be a very sort of tense and dangerous conversation. It seems like Winter hates her right away, but he's actually really intrigued by her and why. So I didn't want it to be sort of an ordinary meeting in a school hallway where he's like, "You stepped on my tail," and growls at her or whatever. I wanted it to be more complicated than that. And that's why I wrote the scene in the Prey Center where Winter's human has escaped and comes running into the room, and Moon saves this little human from getting eaten by all the other dragons. But Winter thinks she's gonna eat him, and she thinks Winter's gonna eat him, and so there's a lot of misunderstanding going on in that moment, and it was really fun to write. Those are my top 3, I think, from writing the books, and I'd love to know what your favorite scenes are.